Vanakkam and good morning, Mzansi. A very warm welcome to Sadhana on S3 with me, your host, Alisha Episide. In today's episode of Sadhana, we strive to enhance your understanding of Hinduism. We unfold the cover of the lineup by finding out about the Umhlatuze Hindu Development Committee. Flipping the page, Dr. Ansuyah Moodley takes us deeper into yoga. Grab your glasses if you're staring for too long, because we keep you entertained with the impact of Hinduism on a national award-winning choreographer, Lliane Loots. The epilogue of the show will depict how the period of Pitra Paksh is observed. Karma Yoga, seva or selfless service, is one of the four main paths prescribed in the Bhagavad Gita that leads us to the ultimate goal of moksha. The Umhlatuze Hindu Development Committee or UHDC mainly focus on Karma Yoga through youth development initiatives, women empowerment programs, as well as feeding schemes. Sadhana met with Poovan and Cathy Narainsamy and learnt more about this dynamic organization and the diverse range of initiatives that they offer in Richards Bay.
Our organization, the UHDC, is a registered NPO that was established in 2002 by a youthful group of individuals in the late 20s and 30s. At that time, we observed a high rate of conversions of Hindus to other faiths, even though there was no shortage of Hindu temples and organizations in our area. So the UHDC was then formed with a mandate from the leaders of the various Hindu organizations in our community to focus on addressing the various shortcomings that exist amongst the Hindu community at large. Thus, our role is to fill in the gaps. We are not an umbrella body in any way. The work of the UHDC is carried out thanks to the number of volunteers and generous donors who appreciate the work of the UHDC. The UHDC stands for Umhlatuze Hindu Development Committee. Our key focus areas are youth development, women empowerment, Hindu unity, free book distribution, and our various seva initiatives.
In 2010, I dedicated myself fully into the UHDC when we started our Women's Forum. And I am so proud of all the women that we have on our Women's Empowerment Group and all the knowledge that we share with women.
At the end of the day, it's the women in our community who are the actual carriers of religion and culture, not the men. Most of what our children are taught is by the mothers, not the fathers.
Knowledge of the scriptures was so important, and I like to share that with the women. So we do that on every Tuesdays when we have our women's meeting. We're not biased to any religion or any particular denomination. Everyone's invited.
During the early stages of the lockdown, there was a severe shortage of masks, and our Women's Committee rose to the challenge of sewing over 2,000 masks, which they distributed to essential services in and around Richards Bay, with some masks also being posted to Durban and Stanger as well. We identified a number of areas where we were lacking as Hindus. One of those areas was youth development. The youth numbers average around 60 and cater for ages between 3 and 9 years of age.
I'm a youth leader as well, and I teach the little babies. I can tell you, their minds are like sponges. They just absorb every single thing. I'm very, very grateful to the UHDC for affording me the opportunity to instill these values in the children, that our future adults will know their scriptures. They will know what they're going to do when they raise their kids, and they will be very, very strong Hindus.
Hindu unity is another key focus area, and from time to time we host unity bhajans and sports days which bring together the various Hindu organizations in this region. The UHDC Seva initiatives includes our weekly school feeding scheme that prepares sandwiches for underprivileged children on a weekly basis. Our Hampers of Hope initiative that distributes grocery hampers to indigent families on a monthly basis. Our annual Wellness Day that provides free medical services to those in need. Our annual Senior Citizens Day that treats the senior citizens to a day of entertainment to cheer them up, as well as our annual Light Up a Life initiative that distributes approximately 300 hampers with toys and goodies to underprivileged children in the Zululand area during Deepavali, as well as our annual pet food drive on behalf of the SPCA, also during Deepavali. The COVID-19 pandemic, and more especially the lockdown, has severely impacted our organization achieving all its objectives. But we have had to adapt in some instances. We've continued with our Hampers of Hope initiative, distributing hampers on a monthly basis. During the level 5 lockdown, when many families' livelihoods were affected, we ramped up our efforts and distributed over 300 hampers during that time. At the beginning of 2020, we embarked on a project to print 10,000 copies of the Bhagavad Gita for free distribution nationwide. Understanding that one's current situation is as a result of one's past actions, and the free will to determine one's future situations through present actions is liberating. I absolutely believe that for those who have surrendered their lives to God, He has a plan.
Welcome back. Yoga is derived from the Sanskrit word yug, which means to unite. It has a philosophical and spiritual meaning and is embedded into our scriptures. From our yoga studio, Dr. Ansuyah Moodley shows us how to stretch the arms, expand the chest and lungs, and use breathing exercises to feel the oneness.
Namaste and good morning to you. In today's yoga session, we're going to concentrate on expansion of the chest as well as an expansion of the lung capacity. We're going to do breathing exercises, but it's going to focus on the stretching of the arms, and in so doing, it will involve the expansion of the chest. So let's get started. Take the palms, interlock the fingers, and very gently place them against your chest in the region of the Anahata heart chakra. Take a deep breath in. Turn the palms outward and allow the arms to stretch as far out as you can at 90 degrees. And release. Again, breathe in and release. Breathe in. Remember this position of yoga, we're doing it in the standing position, which we call Tadasana. So make sure from waist to feet, the body is firmly positioned. Tuck the tummy muscles in and continue breathing when you're in a stationary position with a particular posture that you're doing, and release. Again, a beautiful stretch all the way out. Try not to move the body forward, simply the arms, so that you feel the impact all the way along the arm from biceps to triceps, all the way right to the fingertips. Tuck the tummy muscles in. And release. Very good. Again, this time as you breathe in, raise the arms to a level of 135 degrees in the level of your forehead. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Remember, you're not moving the body forward. Keep the tummy muscles tucked in, feet firmly on the ground in Tadasana. And exhale. Again, you want to expand the chest, so breathe in at 135 degrees in the level of the forehead. Stretch, feel it at the biceps and the triceps. Try not to move the body forward. Abdominal muscles constricted. And release. Again, breathe in all the way forward. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Feet firmly on the ground. Feel the surface of awareness, three-dimensional from toe to heel. And release. Breathe in all the way up. And here, as you stretch, exhale, move sideways to the right. Beautiful stretch on the left hand side of the waist, right hand side compression. As far as you can to the side. Again, come up all the way, breathe in and stretch as far as you can. Exhale, bend all the way to the left hand side. Bend, bend, bend. A wonderful stretch on the right hand side of the waist, compression on the left, arms over the head, come all the way back up again, 180 degrees. A beautiful stretch, interlock fingers, expanding the chest, increasing lung capacity, and exhale.
Welcome back, and yes, you are still tuned to Sadhana. Dancer, choreographer and teacher Lliane Loots has won numerous national awards. She has traveled extensively as both a teacher and choreographer. Her experiences and encounters with Hindu culture grew her curiosity to find out more. Today she shares with us the influence Hinduism has in her life, especially that of Hatha Yoga.
I've literally been dancing since I was 5 years old. There have been patches where I've hated it. There have been patches where I've absolutely breathed and lived and wanted to do it. So, but it is the very fabric of my life. I don't remember a life before dance because I actually started, like most girls, your parents send you off to dance, but I started with ballet. So Flatfoot Dance Company started 23 years ago. That's when I stepped into this job at the university. And I realized that there was very little space to train specifically young black dancers. So the company began as an impulse to offering the skills and the training to dancers who wanted to come. So it was completely, we started almost like as a kind of workshopped training. It wasn't even a company in the beginning. And I just said to anyone who wants to do classes, who can get here, let's do. And I started training. And from that training, people came and went, but there were a core group who stuck with the training. And eventually in 2005, we thought, this is a company. So we started applying for funding and we started to get little bits of funding. And we launched the company as a professional company. No matter where we come from, these traditions, these cultures become ways of speaking about us as South Africans, because we don't have one heritage point. All of us have many, many heritage points, but we all have a confluence. So it's also about creating a space of humanity. So that's Flatfoot. I feel like I'm very privileged to work with Flatfoot Dance Company, who are a group of dancers from spaces that are different to mine in terms of race and gender and class. And I always say to the Flatfoot guys when we're working that we have this enormous opportunity in the studio to see each other, to find each other's humanity. And of course, the Jomo Contemporary Dance Festival is in its 23rd year this year. It's a festival which I'm very fortunate enough to be part of. I'm the artistic director and the curator. I work with a fantastic team as well. The festival is a space for contemporary dance, so we're also interested in contemporary dance from all over the world. And this year, we're particularly excited with a connection to India. We tell stories that are not always about harmony and synergy. We get to tell the difficult stories about being South African as well. But I think the thing about dance is that no matter what story you're telling, when the body takes over, there is just joy. And I watch it. I watch students coming in who have difficult backstories, who have had difficult lives. There's a lot of gender-based violence. There's a lot of health issues. And when these students get into the studio and suddenly start to discover this body that can speak and move and tell stories, something shifts. My journey into Hinduism began actually through Hatha Yoga. this wasn't just about the body. There was a deeper, much deeper philosophy that went with Hatha Yoga and understanding yoga as the esoteric or higher path in Hinduism. Certainly it was through Hatha that I began to understand that there was this extraordinary philosophy that connected body, mind and spirit, which, in the new age everyone's talking about it, but the Hindus understood it centuries ago, and I've enjoyed going to India. Every time I've gone, I've learned something new. The yoga practice has led me to the Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. Autobiography of a Yoga was a very significant text for me as someone beginning the journey to understand Hindu philosophy. And he's done this most extraordinary annotated version of the Bhagavad Gita, which is a beautiful text in and of itself. But to read Paramahansa Yogananda's reflections on the Bhagavad Gita is just, I get emotional because it is so profound and so overwhelming and gives you that understanding. The thing that Hinduism has taught me is the true nature of Atman, that we are all connected. So my message of hope would absolutely be to, first of all, really, as someone who has had COVID and has recovered from COVID, to say, I know we're all fatigued, but keep with the masks, keep with the social distancing, because we are going to make it. We are going to survive this, and it's going to be possible for us to sit in temples and chant, to sit in theatres and watch dance again, but we need to get through this. And so to say that if we are all connected, we do it for each other. We look after ourselves because it helps us look after somebody else.
That surely was intriguing. According to Hinduism, the souls of 3 preceding generations reside in Pitraloka, a realm between heaven and earth. Pitra Paksha is when Hindus pay homage to these pitras or ancestors who have passed on.
Om Vigneshwaraya Varadaya Surapriyaya Lambodharaya Sakalaya Jagathitaya Nagananaya Shrutiyagya Vibhushitaya Gauri Sutaya Gananath Namo Namaste Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha. According to Hinduism, the moment a human being is born, they get connected with the life cycle. Just like birth, death is the ultimate truth. In Hinduism, we pass through many rituals and aspects of puja that we have to go through in a lifetime. According to Hinduism, there are several practices and traditions which are being followed during the lifetime of a human being. Om Sada Bhavani Dayani Sanmukar He Ganesh Panchadevi Mile Raksha Kare Brahma Vishnu Maheshwaraha Om Brahma Murari Tripurantakari Bhanu. Our scriptures say that there are 3 types of deaths in every human being's life. These are the 3 runas, which is called the Deva Runa, the Rishi Runa, and the Pitra Runa. Every human being has to pay off these 3 debts during their lifetime. So the ancestral debt or the Pitra Runa is paid off during the Pitra Paksh Puja. We express our gratitude to our ancestors. In this way, we honor them by remembering them for all that they have done for us and all they have given us. By performing Pitra Puja, they give us their blessings, and through that we live a long and a prosperous life. Pranavastu, nostrils. Om Akshnor me Chakravastu, yes. Om Kanyor me Shotramastu, yes. Om Bhavyor me Bhalamastu, shoulders. Om Urvo me Ojuastu, knees. Now your navel and sprinkle all over yourselves. Om Aristanami Angani Tanustanva me Sahasantu Hari Om. We say Swaha for every offering. As we offer, we must say Swaha, okay? Touch his hand. Om Bhura Bhuvah Swaha. According to our Hindu calendar, Pitra Paksh is a period of 16 lunar days which falls in the month of Bhadrapada, which is normally September, October. By performing Pitra Puja, a complete and unconditional sacrifice is needed to show that we are indebted to our ancestors. So we must purify ourselves internally, externally, by abstaining from meat, alcohol, and any other intoxicants for the full period of this fasting period. When offering pindas to our ancestors, we invoke them and we pray for the peace of their souls or the Atma. The next set of mantras, we're not going to say Swaha, we're going to say Swadha, because these offerings are for Yamaraj and all his associates. Okay? Om Chitraguptaye Swadha, Om Yamadevaye Swadha, Om Pitri Deva. It is stated in the Garud Puran, Pretkand, that Lord Rama and Mother Sita performed Shrat Puja for King Dasharatha after learning of his demise from his two brothers, Bharata and Shatruguna. In the forest of Chitrakoot, Lord Rama performed the Pindadhan. He also offered fruits and he offered Tarpan for his father, as he was the eldest son for his father. We now offer Pinda Bhojan. We offer Pindas to our ancestors. You'll find that on the tray we have 6 Pindas for the last 3 generations, mother's side, and 3 generations, father's side. Together we offer sweet kheer with some fruit. Havan is also performed, where we offer offerings into the sacred fire while sacred mantras are being recited. The water oblations or offering of water is said to be one of the highest forms of in honoring our pitras, basically. We offer to our Aja, paternal grandfather, Om Asmat Pitamaho Triptyartam. Paternal great grandfather par Aja, Om Asmat Prapitamaha Triptyartam. We offer to our mother, Om Asman Mata Devi Triptyartam. Paternal grandmother Aji, Om Asmat Pitamahi Devi Triptyartam. And Paraji, Om Asmat Prapitamahi Devi Triptyartam.
Swami Vivekananda once commented on the place for rituals in philosophy. He said, "The greatest men I have seen in my life, the most wonderfully developed in spirituality, have all come through the discipline of the rituals." Something to ponder on indeed. From the Sadhana team, keep shining your beautiful divine light into the world. Hari Om Tat Sat.